jumped into the books. Let's talk about books. Let's talk about Superman, number 38. Peter J. Tomasi and Patrick Gleason with Ed Benes and Sergio Fernandez de Villa on art. So there's a lot of names to read. I'm so used to just one writer, one artist. Fine, that's it, done.
I got 2 of each this time.
Yeah. I feel like Matt's going to want to like swoon and be like,
let's start with that.
Let's talk about how great it was. Yeah. Superman and some other character with an S in his chest were working together.
Yeah. Titans and Superman. And the fact that we get that him and John had a history, that Connor Kent and John in this future coexist, that's a world I want to live in. Both Superboys have proper super family. And just the way that Tomasi and Gleason, so things are looking rough. The Titans end up saving Superman from his red kryptonite prison, which we'll talk about that in a minute. But Connor comes to Clark, and it's just like, I'm not going to fail John again. And it's just a great moment.
No, it's a pretty good moment. I think what's funny about this, though, because I was kind of like because they reference some of the teammates, and one of them says, hey, you know who we are? It's like, yeah, we know who you all are. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Maybe they're implying that this will be a Titans team down the line. And I went, wait a minute. If this is the Titan teams with Tim, and Tim's already been a Teen Titan, and he'll be older than everyone else, that doesn't really quite work. So I'm not really sure where that's going in terms of how we fit these people into continuity later on. But
timey-wimey.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Things get wonky, just go with it.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a crisis thing where they're going to be retconned in, whatever. I'll take it, but it was just because they were kind of teasing at it, and I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, well, it didn't quite work, but hey ho.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I don't think it has to be teasing anything if they're an alternate future anyway. So in their history. So
well, I just like that it's DC, whether it's Tomasi and Gleason or DC editorial going, there's room enough for all these young heroes. Like there can be a world where there's this Titans Justice League team, and then there's still the Titans. Who are no longer teens, judging by their ages.
It's kind of crazy that we're going to have... We've got Teen Titans.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Super Sons already.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Titans. And now we've got this team as well. Yeah. Kind of all in the same area.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. They don't have a book. They're from the future. They
don't have a book yet. Give it time.
Yeah, give it time, please.
Scott Lobdell needs a second book. I agree.
Don't you... Oh, God, if I could slap you right now. Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
Oh, it's so easy. Yeah, that was a decent issue. I think, obviously, a lot of it's action.
Yeah.
I think the first half of it were like I'll say the good set of the main Teen Titans team, and by good I just mean the ones who didn't side with Savior.
Yeah, Starfire's crew.
Starfire's crew. They end up fighting John and Damien for a little bit, and I was like, okay, we're doing the thing where they have to fight each other before they team up. Okay, sure. I was just
but John,
by the numbers.
But John kind of ends that quick. Yeah, he's like, wait, why are we fighting?
John doesn't end it. Aqualad ends it.
Well, yeah, but he's not. John's not fully in. You know what I mean? Like Damien's the one's like, oh, they're coming to get us, and John's like, okay, well, I'll help my friend, but he's not fully in. I love the fact though that in order to knock out Damien, that's fine, but in order to knock out John, he needs Kid Flash's help to punch his own self out. I like that. It's a pretty fun moment.
Yeah, no, I think that was my favourite part of that whole scene. Actually, was the little joke ending with the knocking out, if you will, of the two of them.
Sorry, bud. Pow.
He looks so dejected as he punches him in the face. He's like, all right, fine, let's do this.
Yeah. Well, I was just say they have to knock him out because Raven contracted their emotions, and we can't have them aware of what's going on. So another cool thing in this issue was we kept seeing Savior Tim like blip in and out because Hyper Time's trying to fix itself.
Mm-hmm.
And Bart was able to latch onto his hand, and so they follow this hand through time. Just it's disembodied, and it's such an odd thing, but I loved it.
Anyone else
still? It leads right back to him.
Is anyone else still feeling weird that red kryptonite now just depowers Kryptonians?
Yeah. It's weird.
I just don't know. It's not a big deal. It's just kind of like this is strange. Like I'm just so used to this being one particular thing. And
I don't know why they've made this.
Pick
decision.
a different color. Use it if it's going to be a color.
Well, green kills, right? If you're to it close enough, like it depowers him, but
yeah, but close enough for long enough, it'll kill. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So they couldn't do that So I guess red was the next best guess, but why not just make it red sun rays and you couldn't break out?
Yeah.
They decided to make it.
But if you want a kryptonite that just takes away his powers, then just make a new color of kryptonite and do it.
Well, and he's from the future too, right? So it's not like he used tech that was here available.
Not sure.
You could have something with him.
Sure,
right?
but it shouldn't affect the way kryptonite is.
No. But I'm arguing Pete's point where you could have made it another color, and it could have been synthetic red kryptonite or something, not just straight up red that's completely unstable and has a different effect every time. It's just too boring to make it red and just have it take his powers.
Okay. So Tim actually kind of goes out. I mean, no pun intended, as a savior, because he kind of Superboy's going ultra, because he's upset that they're taking away from his dad. So he starts to go supersonic and whatnot, and they're dragging him away, and he starts going all supernova. And basically the explosion kind of becomes its own thing. It becomes like its own little power source and starts to expand. So Tim decides to absorb it and take it with him through the time stream so that it will save everyone. Because comics.
Yeah. Well, it came down to he was there to kill John, but they're like, well, you can't kill John. Like, we're not going to let you do this. But John's going to blow up anyways. So, he's able to separate it, which that's what they kind of did with Superman when he lost his powers for that time after the supernova. It kind of got pulled from him. That was the whole, what's his name, Ulysses arc. That's what that led to. So, there's precedent for it, and not necessarily a smart thing to do or interesting. But
it's just one of those things where he just sort of throws out there, oh, I'm just going to absorb it and take it with me. I'm like, okay, Tim, if you can do that.
You could have just done that from the beginning, bro.
Is he going to have powers now from all this?
I don't think so.
Yeah, well, he just seems to. I mean, I kind of took this as a sacrifice that he's probably just dead now.
That's what I thought.
No,
but
look at his face on that last panel, which I completely nerded out over.
Over his face or over the background?
The background and stuff. I don't think he's dead.
Maybe not.
No, that's the thing. He looks like he might be, but I'm assuming not because comics.
Yeah, I mean, okay, sure, yeah. I mean, even if they intend this to be his death, I have no doubt that someone else will just bring him back later anyway. Even though we don't really need him back. Like, I mean, it's actually kind of silly how quickly we've had him back already after his first story arc in Detective.
To be fair, that was probably always planned as one thing, though, right? By the time that they were planning that Detective arc, this would have been planned for this. So.
Oh, sure.
And this is also not the last part. They're to be concluded next month in Super Sons.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure. But I mean, but we're going to see him again in Super Sons next month.
I think so.
Okay.
I don't think you leave it in tease like this with all these different moments that are key in continuity. I mean, you look through these back panels and there's stuff from Identity Crisis, Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah, you got him holding Supergirl.
0 Hour.
You got Rebirth. You got various things.
It's interesting because if you look at the first travel through time, where the Titans are following him with the hand, those are, I think, mostly, if not all, just the moments with this version of Tim that we've had recently.
Yep.
Oh yeah, it's all this continuity. Yeah, the first one time you see it.
And then this one at the end is all the extra stuff.
And Final Crisis is in there as well.
Only you also got Brightest Day. If you look at the Hawks and Redman.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, Brightest Day is there.
Yeah. So there are all these major moments that had happened, and so I just think with that look on his face, it to me looks like a smile, and that might just be,
Oh, it definitely looks like a smile. And
I
think there's ways of reading it. Is he seeing all this and going, "Oh yeah, look, history is intact"?
It's fixed.
Or is it more I went out doing something good? Smile. I'm not entirely sure. It's a bit unclear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if I'm interpreting it, well, it's one way I'd interpret it. I mean, again, I have no idea as which way to go with it, but it's that he's seeing all these different timelines and he's sort of realising that their history's already been messed with, so that it's still to be fixed anyway, kind of thing. Like,
right.
not that what he didn't matter, but just the idea that, oh, there's actually way more things that are going to be fixed beyond what I just did.
Yeah.
Like, there's more things like that's going to make the world better than just.
Yeah. Well, it's like time has a sense of fixing itself, which on a meta level is the writers and editorial going back and retconning things, and that's basically what he tried to do, right? He tried to retcon Superboy,
and that's what most of these stories we're seeing. And all this stuff in the background, most of these stories are retconning things.
Exactly. Yeah. So I read it on that meta level, and I got to that last page.
Maybe that's the point.
Maybe I projected my smile.
Yeah, but maybe that's the writing saying, hey, they're putting him on the same pedestal of all these other moments where he's affected the past. He's retconned something, so he now belongs in the pantheon with all these. I don't know if I'd go that far. I mean, I've enjoyed this crossover. I don't think I'd put it on the same level as anything that's in the background.
None of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, you just look at all of these other moments and they are about sacrifice, if I'm looking at some of them. I mean, Identity Crisis not so much, but, Crisis with both Supergirl and Barry.
Yeah, but they're not all, because obviously you have the Barry and Wally reuniting and Rebirth. It's like that's not sacrifice.
No, but you're also looking at Parallax with 0 Hour, and that's how, he at one point ignites the sun, or reignites the sun. That was the death of Hal Jordan. That gave way to Kyle Rayner. So it's almost like these are passing of the torch moments or reigniting the torch, if you will. And that's why I love DC. There are all these type of things. And that sense of history and legacy. And if Tim can go back and alter that, like Pete was saying, then he's reached his purpose. He's done what he needs to do.
So yeah, maybe we don't need any more of him.
True.
Yeah, this was a pretty fun issue. I don't think I love it. I think it's a fun issue. I like there's some nice moments in there. There's some teases of continuity stuff. I don't think I'm as over the moon with it as Matt obviously is.
Well, yeah, I'm biased though. This is my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
So.
No, I like it a lot. I like the last page a lot, and I like the back half of the issue as well. More once the other Titans come back. The first time it's fine. It's nothing wrong with it, but it doesn't excite me.
I think the crossover as a whole, at least so far, obviously we don't have the final issue yet, but the crossover as a whole, because I assume most of the next issue is going to be the older Titans from the future interacting and sort of like just sort of almost clearing up the loose ends.
Well, because now how do they get back? Because they followed him through Hypertime. So.
No, that's a good point. They followed him through the hand. Does it fix them automatically like it was trying to do with Tim, like the whole time?
If not, then they'll think of a way of doing it by the end of this year.
Even better, just stick around.
Yeah, what Connor said. Please.
No, that's not happening. So, yeah, so the crossover as a whole so far, I think it's been very good. I think it's been kind of light on, like I feel like it's kind of a thin action plot.
Yeah, definitely.
So they came up with this thing where, Superboy's going to explode one day, and future Tim wants to stop that from happening. But, we never even had a hint of that before now. That was just something that came up because he mentioned it when he came back. So
it almost makes me wonder if the Lonely Place of Living was planned first, and Tomas is like, I can use future Tim.
I think it was. I don't think this was the purpose for him. I think this is essentially a filler crossover. It's a really fun filler crossover. I think it's a solid read filler crossover, but I think it's filler ultimately.
Oh, it is. This is your summer blockbuster essentially.
Yeah, but I don't think. I mean, maybe it'll have some lasting impact for the Titans and Superboy, but I don't think it's it doesn't feel like a big important thing that's happening. It's just a fun little romp. But
it added that schism between them. The ones that wanted to help, Beast Boy and Raven.
Yeah, I think the concern is, does that just get brushed over really quickly?
I don't think so, because the next issue of Teen Titans, it looks like they're all leaving the tower. Like the cover, I mean.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. No, that's good. So, and obviously now John knows he has this power, which is new. So there's a change there.
Yeah, just for him to manage it.
Give him a few character things, for the next little few arcs or whatever, sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a fun read.
Yeah, me too.
Yep.
Okay. And the art, I thought the art was. It wasn't as good as Jimenez when the start of the crossover, but it was.
No, it was solid though, and
Serviceable.
it did its job more than well enough.
Yeah, I would concur with that.